Skip bop ba ba la ba dum ba dum. What up, party people, ladies, gentlemen, and others? Welcome back to Game Therapy. It's me, Dio, and Shenmue. It hasn't been 4 hours yet since we left off here last time, so we're gonna go. And that door loud as hell. Ain't nobody robbing that store. They hear you robbing that store a mile away. Oh, they robbing the travel agency again. Why? They ain't got no money. But with that in mind, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to Game Therapy. Come on in. Kick your shoes off. Let your hair down. It's time to heal, warriors. Yak Yak, the Zack Attack. What up, homie? Oh, Slim, that's a cat. I thought that was a chicken. Cold chilling on the streets. Tom. The only thing that would have made this game amazing for me is if the Tom character, they had made him Dio's uncle, and he had to call him Uncle Tom. Like the whole game, just calling that Japanese dude with a Jamaican accent Uncle Tom. That would make my whole life if that could have happened. But I don't think any video game designer ever would have the courage to tell that type of joke in this world where everybody's professionally offended because they can't find a real purpose for their life, so they just like to be cowards and judge and shit on everybody else's badness. So there you go. There's her. Damn, Santa Claus, tall as shit. Hey, Santa, man, you always been this big? Gee, I knew he was fat, but damn. Yeah, let's rap a little bit. Damn, I walked Santa into the crib. I didn't even know you could do this. Santa is not happy with me right now. Santa, listen to me, man. I'm trying to school you on some things. Santa, I'm gonna walk you into this alley. You think I'm a game, Santa? Do you think I'm a game, Santa? Santa, do you think I'm a game? I said. God damn it, Santa! I'm gonna put my foot in your ass. I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring the energy down, everybody. So this is the first of 2 streams today. Well, 3 streams technically. It's just one of them I won't be doing. I'll be attending it. So we're going to stream here. We're going to go hang out with one of our community members named Stacy for her bridal shower. Or bridal party that she's throwing. Then we're going to come back here at around 8 p.m. for the actual stream of today, which is E's 8 Lacrimosa of Donna. So stay plugged in, man. We're going to have ourselves some chai tea and a jolly good time. Speaking of a jolly good time, shouts out to Jolly D, member of our community, who's helping me edit these very long playthroughs into full-length films where we include the story of the game but also the funny parts of my antics. I'll tell you guys, I just went through his outtakes video last night. I haven't gotten to the movie part. Excuse me. But I did get through the outtakes part, and I'll say, shouts out to Jolly, man. I've always heard people who make television and movies who are in comedy talk about how editing is so important to comedy landing in video, and I've never disagreed with it. It's just now I'm watching an editor with me and my crew make something that was way funnier than it was when we shot it. Like, I was laughing at stuff that I did, and I don't ever laugh or get like hype about my own stuff. It's just like I don't sit around listening to my old CDs of me rapping and stuff. Like, I just don't do that. Because I always think me right now is terrible compared to who I'm going to be in a year. So I'm always judging myself based on who I'm going to be in the future. But he made me sound hilarious. And some of the cuts where it jumps from one piece to another. Like, it literally goes, there's a 2-minute rant where I'm talking about shitty old video games and Metroid. I don't know why this is my favorite game. I quit. I'm not going to I was joking. I was going to finish the game. Or I was considering not finishing the game. But I'm doing my typical satirical ranting where I hate the game. Which none of it's true. All these games that I shit on. The parts that I'm screaming about. They're almost never as bad as the character I'm playing on this show would have you believe. But Like, he's editing me just, and God, and who was the designer who came up with this room? Why? We've been fighting dragons and dinosaurs the whole game, and now we got to solve a puzzle for the final boss. And it's like, I ain't doing it. F this game. And then it just cuts to me doing it. Like, all right, we doing it. It was great. There's so many little nuggets that Jolly put in there that just made my whole evening before I fell asleep last night. And I got up happy this morning to go do my event at the crack of dawn. I haven't had to get up at the crack of dawn for an event in quite some time.
Yeah, Yu Suzuki, I'm here for my ticket.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My Hong Kong ticket I've already paid.
Paid who?
The woman who...
Woman? Don't know no woman.
What? What kind of scam is this?
We don't take kindly to accusations like that. You best learn some manners.
Yo.
Hey, you better watch your mouth.
That's how we do it. Where's my money, ho?
This, I've already paid my money.
I understand. Allow me to sort this out.
You'd better, or else.
Yes, sir. I'll call you first thing tomorrow.
If you don't, I'm gonna Xerox copy your ass. And I don't mean put you on the copier, motherfucker. I'm running you through the goddamn copier. You're gonna be linguini by the time I'm finished with your dumb ass. I'm trying to avenge my father's murders, and you gonna hold me up and take my money? Bitch, I'll kill you. I'll kill everybody in this town over that shit. I don't know what they think this is. Dio Hazuki's a psychopath. He's not okay. This dude's been on a mission to kill the entire game. None of this has been pleasant. He's a psychopath. Because the dude's like, you can't beat Landy. And what would you do? It's my pops, man. I gotta take him out. I gotta at least try, Jesus. It's like if Jesus was your boxing trainer. I gotta at least try, Jesus. And it's like Rocky, he doesn't want to train you. I can't train you if this is going to be your fight. You got to train me, Jesus. You got to get me ready. I can't be there. All right. I tell you what, man, keep an eye on that Stallone dude. With a lot of the not so great films and shows I've seen over the years, he's still turning out hits, man. Those Creed movies with Michael B. Jordan were way better than I anticipated. I like them. I like both of them. I'm looking forward to whatever they do next. But I was shocked at how much I liked Creed. And I like Rocky. I love Stallone, man. He's the dude. But it was like, Creed, though? Like, y'all really gonna dust this off? Because you got a few Rockies that are a little rocky. And it was just, nah. He got with Creed, and Michael B. Jordan's such a dynamite actor, man. He just nails that Apollo Creed arrogance. Backed up by, it's not even really, it's that confidence backed up by he will do anything up to ending his own life to get the thing he wants, man. Really good. And the training montages, I was shocked because they had to hip-hopify him and I love hip-hop, but I mean they had to commercialize him and make him modern, and I'm like, what music are they gonna pick for this shit? Because if I'm sitting here listening to Little Popsicle Stand or whatever fucking kid rapper is just spitting fucking Dr. Seuss rhymes, I can't. I'm too old. I'm glad the kids like that shit. Enjoy it. Little Popsicle Stand, I wish you the best in your career. I can't do it, man. Oh, snap. It's not sleep time? Well, let's go train then. Shoot. Oh, I thought it was 9 o'clock. It's only 6. Let's go get our training on, man. We're going to need it anyway for the last fights. Jolly, you just missed a 20-minute shout out I just gave you. And I've been dropping gold too since we turned these cameras on. I'm dropping hits better than y'all clapping. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Think I'll warm up a bit.
Yeah, warm it.
Let's get sweaty.
Love that move. Wop, 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 wop. Boom. Cash in that ass. What's the move I just learned? The demon drop was it, I think. Was that it? I was not paying attention to the name of the move I just learned. How do you even contort your fingers to do some of these? That's weird, man.
That's enough.
I don't understand how. Ah. Yeah, like I have to use both hands on one side of the controller to do that. How would you even do this move? Yeah, you can't just do it with your one hand. It's not even, I mean, unless you do it like this. Yeah, they really didn't think through the moves in this game. Like, hey, how about 10 moves? Or 5? You don't even need 10. Just 5 moves. 5 cool-ass moves. I don't need 700 Tekken moves I gotta memorize. Just 5 of those would have been fine. Quality, not quantity, peoples. See, Terry says, you see, this is a game worth complaining about. Huh. If you believe games are worth complaining about, I imagine any game is worth complaining about. For having input complexity, a sign of bad game design. Yeah, I would say, I'd agree with you. I think if I was putting on my hat of objectivity, I'd say bad is probably in the eye of the beholder. Because obviously there are people who like memorizing these arduous button lists. Otherwise they wouldn't be making it. I mean, I imagine. So yeah, I would agree for my taste, having to memorize a complex move, because I'm never going to, first of all, I'm not memorizing any of that shite. When we get into the fights at the end of the game, I'm just going to rely on the 2 moves I remember. That's how it's going to go. None of that Virtua Fighter, Tekken. Like, I hated Tekken as a kid, so all the shit that Tekken influenced, hell no. Like, if you want to see how a fighting game is supposed to work, especially without overly complex controls, give the old Soul Calibur a look. And while you're at it, give Soul Blade or Soul Edge in Japan a look. Because I still think that's the best one in the series. Or at least the most fun that I had with the games. Still would have been the first game in the series. The input complexity often exists as a result of having tons of flexibility. Yeah, that's what I said a minute ago. Don't have so many damn moves. Like, dude, nobody wants to do anything but a fireball, a dragon punch, and a Tatsumaki Senpu Kayaku. Yes, that's how you say the word, even though that's not how they say it. You know, it's Tatsumaki Senpu Kayaku, right? Even though that's not what they say in the game, that's the words, at least in the booklet when you buy it. That's all you're trying to do. I ain't trying to remember 40 other moves. I just want to hit somebody in the chest with a dragon punch and watch their face catch on fire. So I agree. You're not going to get any arguments out of me that Tekken was not a good game. I'd say here's who Tekken is good for. People who like a lot of complexity and memorizing complex shit to show off to their friends that they could memorize because that's my friends that played is like, watch me put this 60 move combo on your ass. I'm like, well, why are you doing that? I'm gonna go order a pizza because the fuck I want to sit here and watch that. Like, they were just impressed with themselves that they had learned this overly complicated thing that lets them punch you 60 times, and that was the whole concept of Tekken. I'm like, who the fuck came up with this? No, thank you. Not a fan at all. But a smart game developer would map the attacks to the face buttons. Well, see, the problem is that would work in today's world. Where these games got started, you couldn't do that, though, because the real button complexity was designed to get you to waste quarters because you couldn't play the game properly. Because all these games started as arcade games. When they came home, they started becoming more, controller friendly or whatever. Yeah, so I'd say input complexity made sense in the arcades because you were trying to suck money out of people. And arcades are also used for competitions back in those days, so it was, you want people who can memorize movesets and display actual measurable skill. So that makes sense. But in a console game, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Hello? Hazuki Dojo? Huh? Asia Travel Company? Okay, just a moment.
Hello?
It's Yumi from Asia Travel. I've got your ticket. I'd like for you to come and pick it up. Please come to the U Arcade on Dobuita at noon.
Ooh, I know what this is. All right, we got to be ready for this show. An ass whooping
to Hong Kong.
Oh, I see.
I'm going out.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Terry says, like, you crap on Devil May Cry, B. Do I? I just said I didn't like it. I wouldn't necessarily crap it. It's just not a game that I like. But honestly, Devil May Cry 3 is actually very well designed because the moves you use require you to press face button. All I know is when I played Devil May Cry, I was doing it wrong. That's it. So I stopped playing it. I beat it and was like, all right, fuck this game. So I only played the very first Devil May Cry, and I never touched anything else because I just frankly didn't like it. I didn't like Onimusha that much either. It makes you feel better. Especially with those shitty PlayStation tank controls. That, once again, when you let engineers build everything without artists, that's what fucking happens. Shitty tank controls. We get elegant analog sticks when artists get involved. Yeah, but I wouldn't. First of all, I don't want a moveset, man. Map the damn gun to this, and then I'm gonna press square to swing a sword. That's about all the complexity I need, man. I don't need it. I don't need the, like, older people, and I've noticed this just with every generation. Like, as generations go on, the more and more complex the humans get. And I actually think that's part of the human entropy that destroys every society, is that we get too fucking complex for the foundations of our society to uphold us. Right? That's where the Roots album, The Tipping Point, comes from. When he did that freestyle a couple years ago, when he's like, I hate to say I told y'all, but I told y'all things fall apart when the center too weak to hold y'all. So when you complexify fucking everything, the center can no longer hold it. And that's what I've seen with video games. It's complexity. But when I look at generations, like Brian Regan was doing a thing on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, talking about an interview he did with a younger interviewer, and he was the interviewee. And he was like, he couldn't understand the question. And that happens to me on live streams. Like, some of these young people would be like, hey, B, how do you diversify the synergy of the emotional shit? Like, what in the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, do a push-up, brush your teeth. Like, what? So it's like these younger generations, the way Regan described it, I think, was very well. Or Seinfeld described it. He's like, the younger generation has more energy for more complexity. He's like, when they come to see a comedy show, they want more depth of emotion. He's like, I just want to make motherfuckers laugh. Because they asked him, like, the question was, when you're working with your audience, do you give any time for the pathos? He's like, bitch, I don't even know what pathos means. What do you want from me? And so I've seen the same thing happen in gaming. As younger and younger generations make the games, they add bullshit to them that make them too complex. Like when people started bitching that, oh, it's just a button masher. So is lifting weights. Like, what is it that you need? And it's just the more free time you have and the younger you are, the more variety you want to taste. As you get older, you just like certain shit and you stick with it. Like, I do not like the fact that social media fucking worked on this generation. My generation could not have been the place where they really launched social media on. Even though technically it was our generation that created it. But it's like, it could not have had the groundswell it needed with like the old millennials into the Generation X folks. Because we just don't give a fuck about what's going on online. Like, even people on my team and in my groups be like, B, did you hear that, Tom Flex Romanov, farted in Oprah's mouth? No. And that caused the stock price at GameStop to drop? No. I miss that shit. So, yeah, when you're talking about, like, the fact that you said move sets already means I don't want to play the game, Terry. I don't want to have a damn move set. This button punches, one of these motherfuckers kicks, and this one's the gun. That's all I need, bruh. All this deep shit. Why? Let's have a survival game where we don't just manage health. Let's have a water bar and a food bar. Soon you're going to have a stamina bar, a life bar, a food bar, a water bar, a self-esteem bar. You're going to have a self-care bar. You're going to have a safe space bar. How many times have you been to the safe space to a merit your emotions bar? It's all life bars, you shitty designers. Shitty publishers. Not the designers' fault that publishers who want to make money add a bunch of dumb shit to try to get stupid people to buy the same thing 4 million times when they just added a move set to it. Alright, what else is Terry talking about? Because then he told me Devil May Cry really isn't the best example. I don't care. It's the best example for me to decide, hey, I don't need to play this game. No. Devil May Cry doesn't have a moveset. You just shoot everything. Okay. Well, the people who playing Devil May Cry 2, I hope they enjoy it. I have no plans to touch anything Devil May Cry ever again. It'd be like playing Ninja Gaiden games at this point. It's a waste. I'm not playing that shit. I'm good. And I had already made up my mind when I was doing like the collector versus wild stuff that I'm only collecting shit I want to play, which means I'm gonna start collecting way older stuff. And I don't have time to play games that I don't think are gonna be at least give me some level of enjoyment that's worth the time investment. People hate on Devil May Cry 2 because the combat is too basic and bland. Basic and bland, baby. Give it to me. Hey, Mama Hardest, what up? Oh, Jenny's in there. What up, Jenny? Alright, I gotta hang out here until noon, so I guess me and Santa, I'm gonna try to get Santa Claus down in that alley again. What up, Santa? What up, SC, baby? What's happening? You good? Me and SC chilling hard. Watch, I'm gonna box him out. He ain't getting nowhere. You ain't getting nowhere, Santa. Watch me now. Look at me. Boxed you out, Santa. You ain't got nowhere to run to, Santa. I'm all in your ass. It's gonna be me and you. Bill Belichick, bitch. All night in the defense. Out of bounds, ho. My ball. You better give me this ball, ho. I will beat your Santa Claus ass. We don't believe in that shit in Japan, ho. You better get out of here. Ain't no white people coming down our chimneys. We ain't got no damn chimneys. This is Japan, ho. What are you doing here? You here for the gaijin. We don't like them anyway. Get your Santa Claus ass and the gaijin up out of here. See, I messed up Santa Claus's whole groove. He changed his trajectory. Now he's walking the other way. Get your ass out of Japan, Santa. You're not welcome here. Anyway. Jolly says, laughing my ass off, in Phasma, a horror game, there is a sanity bar. You actually have to down medication in the game to manage it. Jesus Christ. You unimaginative fucking designers. But yeah, it was just interesting listening to Brian Regan and Seinfeld kind of break down and Seinfeld really broke it down well. He's like, dude, it's just the energy of being young. It's like, once those motherfuckers have kids, they're gonna give exactly as zero fucks as we give about everything on the planet except feeding them kids. He's like, those young people have time for pathos. I got kids. Oh, man. But I think there's at least some rationale to it, because the more I look at video games, it's like, these games are no different than the shit I played growing up, other than you've just stacked a bunch of gimmicks and systems on top of shit. It's like, why? That's why I will forever praise Nier Automata. They said, fuck it. We're just going to make this fun. Just make it fun, damn it. And we're going to tell a great story. It's going to be an RPG. We're even going to give you a fun way to get all the trophies in the game, Brian, because we heard you like trophies. I said, mother, what? Platinum games? You heard I like trophies? I love trophies. They're like, we're going to give you a fun way to get all the trophies, B. It's going to be your dream come true. And when I saw that, I said, Nier Automata, you my favorite game of all time. It has to be that way. Ninja Gaiden games do have a lot of input complexity. Yeah, maybe. Let's see, Mama says, I'm too old for that ish. No patience for free. Yeah, it's like Marcus Aurelius says, and I especially try to impart this into my young people and my sons, which is, dog, don't busy your mind with trifling things. Now, I realize I'm running a video game show where I stand up here and bitch incessantly about how bad video games are. Obviously, the purpose of that is your entertainment, not some objective critique of the medium, as if that exists. I'm sure there's some magazine publishing companies that want you to believe that shit exists. It don't. Oh yes, they still make magazines, y'all. Terry says, all you need to know to beat Devil May Cry 3 is how to avoid the enemy attacks. Yeah, like, the thing I didn't like about the Devil May Cry games was I think it's this... Now, keep in mind, I played Devil May Cry in the year 2001. Alright, so it's been 20 years. I don't remember much about the game other than I didn't like it that much. But what I remember was getting frustrated with trying to pull off the fights. Like, and I don't know if that's a similar issue with what I don't like about timed button mashing, and like all these modern video games love timed button mashing. Like, as much as y'all bitch about this game's just a button masher, y'all got some fucking QTEs and timed button mashing like a mother Fletcher. Like, which one is it? You hate button mashing or you love it, or you just love it when it seems complicated? Freaking nerds ruin everything. It's nerds. Only nerds worry about stuff like that. Doesn't Shadow Hearts have what to? Shit. Does Shadow Hearts have what to? What are you talking about? That's another game I haven't played in probably 15 years, so I probably don't remember much. Mama says, game therapy is the key word to your content here. Therapy is an active expression and release. It completely falls in the line with my art program for people. Yep. Sanity Bar. I don't remember. No idea, man. It's a Japanese role-playing game, so I'm sure there's a bunch of unnecessary stupidity in it. But one could say that about any game. See, Jolly says, I think to me most things are trifling things, as do I. That's why I don't have a lot of friends or get involved in a lot of things, or know any of the pop culture shit that people talk about when they come on my shows. It's also why I don't watch Harry Potter. I think the most things in life are trifling things. I believe that so much to where I don't take time to appreciate shit. Now that's going probably, you're probably going too far, as you're pointing out. Like, everything in life is trifling, right? You know, the only things that have meaning in life are the things we give meaning. But the idea behind not busying your mind with trifling things is that's personal to the individual, right? So what are the things I need to have on my mind to get to where I'm going, right? Because if I am a professional athlete, thinking about, you know, being more anal about the calories I eat tonight, not just to make sure I'm maintaining the proper muscle mass in season, but also giving myself enough energy for practices and games would be an important thing. I eat well now, but I'm not going to manage my calories like an anal retentive person in this life because I don't need to manage it that closely, right? So going that hard would be a trifling thing. And you definitely don't want to not take time, because where is any meaning in the smile of a child, right? But that smile of the child, when it's your child, becomes your whole world. You know, I went to MC an event that my kids were participating in today. And when I went out to the field to meet my first kid, when he was participating, he saw me and he was like, oh my God, like he had seen a superhero. And he came running and tackled me. He was just telling me, I won the race today, Dad. Did you see me? I'm like, yep, I saw you. I'm actually the guy running the show. So, yep, I see everything. I'm the guy yelling at you on the microphone. But we give that meaning, you know, because that it makes our whole life. You can have the worst day in the world, and your child smiles at you, man, that shit's over. It's over. You know, it snaps you out of it. So, yeah, there's no meaning in any of these video games, right? All of these video games are trifling things, but they become not trifling when we use them in ways that are healthy and uplifting for us. Right? So my thing is, I don't busy my mind with trifling things.
Look
like,
at the time.
some of these games are just asking me to pay attention to too much. Like, people are wanting to manage too many variables in their heads. And I think it's because they're bored. Like, you just need a purpose for your life. All this complexity is going to drive you nuts.
Yeah! Came for your Hong Kong ticket, did you? Yeah, but you are not going to Hong Kong.
Do you work for Landy?
Me? Work? For Landy-sama? That's my dream!
Gollum!
What do you want with me?
You know about Juyenda. Tell me all you know. Landy-sama hates Juyenda, so I'll be rewarded for this information.
So you know about Landy. Just who the hell is he?
I'll only tell you if you prove
I've never won this fight.
me.
Showtime. Never won this fight, yo. Always wanted to. And now I can't skip the damn cutscene.
Ryu-san!
Interrupted. I'll save the fun for later.
How you know Gollum isn't a crackhead?
Just take it easy and rest today.
Let's see, I never played Shadow Hearts before. Phasma was the first time I saw a sanity bar with meds. Yeah, and doesn't Darkest Dungeon require you to... Now, I mean, if sanity is relevant to the game, and it is a fun thing to manage, not a thing that you have to continue buying items for at a damn store just to keep an economy running that adds balance to the game. Like, if me managing my sanity has some enjoyable factor or meaningful factor to the game that makes it fun to do, all in. I'm just saying, having a water, food, and health bar for the sake of having them, you're just asking the player to do more chores. So instead of just collecting health packets when I'm out in the wild, now I have to look for bottled water and cashews too, or blueberries. That's the thing a lot of those games love to have is around is blueberries. It's like, but I'm not doing anything different. I'm getting one health item for the health bar, a different health item for this other health bar, but we're calling it water, and then this other item for this other bar called food. Now, the argument would be, well, in real life, that would be survival. Yeah. So why don't you just go into the woods and do survival if you want it to be real? So you can see how fucking tedious it is. Because there's nothing inherently enjoyable about having to do more inventory management. So like if I was a lead game designer, like no, there will absolutely not be additional fucking health bars in our games unless there is an enjoyable reason for the player to have it. And just saying because it happens in real life isn't enjoyable enough. Like, you're going to make the player run more errands and spend more time. That's wasting the player's time. Give them something fun to do. Like, for example, Outward requires that you get water. It requires that you manage water. Right? And there's water everywhere. So it's not an active... And the game lets you cheat, basically. Once you get your super backpack, you can have... I had more water in my backpack. But so it makes it a scavenging game where I can buy upgrades. I can store cases of water on me, you know, that I'm making from crafting and then going to the water holes. And now I've got this... I had a surplus of water. So there's ways you can make needing those things fun. And by the way, why do you need the water? Because you don't always need the water. When do you need it? When you go to the desert part of the game and it's 1,000 degrees, you dehydrate. And the water also helps keep you cool. So it's like, I'm not just getting water to fill a health meter. I'm playing the game. You know, I guess you could argue I'm picking berries off the bush so I don't starve to death. I'm playing the game. I'm like, well, just make it more creative than that, though. Because, or take the fucking health bar out. Why do I have a health bar? Just make me eat food and water, and that's my health bar. Ding. But I clearly don't know a lot about game design because all the damn games do the opposite of what I'm saying. So clearly I must not be right. If everybody disagrees. Alright, so let's reload. I want to beat that dude, man. What up, Flames? Speaking of inventory management, have fun with that in Exist Archive. It's one of the things. No, I actually liked it there. Because I don't have a weight limit that makes me have to do inventory management every 7 minutes. I can just go back to Amamatsu, I think is how you say her name. And I can trade that shit in for the points that let me level up. I'll do that shit all day. No problems. Where I ran into fucking beef with your shitty game is the goddamn combat system in that ladder dungeon. So when you get to the dungeon where they want you to start using the demon dick or whatever the name of the stupid ass move is, they make everything about 3 times as hard as what you fought up to that point. And all the fights take 27 minutes. I'm exaggerating. And then, like, what you can't see about the battlefield because they're trying to do a grid-based battle system, but with Valkyrie profile, is there's characters sometimes that are behind other enemies. And if you try to hit them and you can't tell based on the grid that one is behind the other, this one blocks the attack as if I can't throw a fireball fucking higher to get it over the, like, that type of shit drives me batshit crazy. Like, who the frackaluya on planet Earth enjoys that shit? It's the most like people that complain about games being real. That is the most impractical shit I've ever seen in my life. Impractical. So, no, I was okay with the inventory management. It's everything else about the game I'm starting to have issues with. Alright, let's get back to Shenmue here, shan't we? Nick says, The Woods has a food bar, water bar, sanity bar, and a health bar. It's a survival horror game. It's super tedious and the story is retarded. Yep, thank you. I'll never play that shit. Because it's made by misanthropes who hate humanity. Yeah, but the point is, I don't mind the drops. I don't mind the drops, Terry, because I'm in control of. So I think you don't understand my beef with inventory management. It's not that it exists; it's that stupid designers tie they tie a looter shooter game into a game that has a very strict fucking carry limit. That's the complaint. It's that Cyberpunk 2077 made it such that I had to be in my inventory after every battle. Because dare you pick up another weapon, bitch. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's not that I have to do inventory management. I'm actually okay with doing it. It's that I have to do it every about 6 minutes in that game. It's ridiculous. In freaking Exist Archive, I can just go do it whenever I want to go back to Amamatsu. And that's on my time and when I'm ready. I can live with that. Because the actual management of the inventory is not my problem. It's that the game's forcing me to do it when I don't want to be. That's the bigger issue.
Yeah! Came for your Hong Kong ticket.
Can you just skip these, please? You cannot. How do you not let me skip cutscenes in a remake of it? Never mind.
Do you work for Landy?
Me? Work? For Landy-sama? That's my dream.
What do you want with me?
You know about Juyenda. Tell me all you know. Landy-sama hates Juyenda, so I'll be rewarded for this information.
So you know about Landy. Just who the hell is he?
I'll only tell you if you prove stronger than me.
All right, so Terry, go back to what I said a moment ago, because you don't need to write the long explanation. I told you that the beef was the constantly being in the inventory. Are you saying to me that there comes a time where the inventory in Exist Archive has a carry limit? Is that what you're saying? Because to what I understood, there's no carry limit. Why would I need to constantly keep backtracking? Is there a point where the inventory fills up and because it's full, I can't get an item that I'm supposed to have for a quest, and that's why I'm failing the quest? Because if that's true, thanks for telling me that. We're cutting that game off the fucking list tonight. And I'm going to go back to it. Like, Trice, man, can you please dig your head out of your assholes? Please. You've made one of my favorite games of all time, and you just can't fucking get right since then. And that was 1998. Like, can you fix yourselves? How did that miss? Can you please turn around and fight like a damn not whore? How many moves do I have to do to win this shit? Can I please exit out before the fucking cutscene start? You know what? It's just easier to close the fucking game. Got me cussing because now I'm all competitive. Oh, okay. Well, then why would I fail a mission if there's no way to fill up the inventory with the stuff I need? Why? Yeah. So why? I'm saying, why would I start failing missions because of that? So not the items. Yeah, I don't care if Dukaratsu's I have 12 of his swords and I can't carry anymore. I don't care about that. I just won't pick up. It just won't let me pick up the sword. I'll go if it's just you can only carry 20 of each sword, right? Like Star Ocean does that, and so does the Tales games only let you carry so many of each item. If what you're saying is once I get to 20 apple gels, it's not going to let me carry anymore, I'm not going to go running back to Homegirl at that point. I'll just let the game, let the ones I'm not picking up go into the ether. That I can live with, I think. I mean, I imagine I can live with it. And when you get multiple items at once, you have to sort all of them. When you leave to trade to Amatsume, thank you for fixing the name. It fails the mission. What? That doesn't make any sense. It's not you that's not making any sense. It's what you're saying sounds ridiculous. But Japanese role-playing games. But once it is full after every battle, it will bring up a screen saying your inventory is full now. Sort it or ditch the item. Okay, that I can live with so far. And when you get multiple items at once, you have to sort all of them. Okay. When you leave to trade Amatsume, you're saying when I leave the dungeon. Well, I would complete the mission before so in your scenario, if I'm understanding it correctly, I would never go back to Amatsume. Am I saying her dang name right again? Yeah, I would never go back to Amatsume until I'm either finished with my mission or whatever. Like, there's no reason I need to hurry up and leave the dungeon to trade my stuff in. just to do it that much. I would just loot whatever inventory it's not going to let me take with me that I have to ditch, so to speak. I can live with ditching. What I can't live with is, you know, a cyberpunk game giving you a bunch of shit guns, and then it's like, okay, let's give him 18 more decent guns. It's like, okay, I can take all of those, break them down for parts, I can sell these, and it's like, I need to take all of this stuff to do the game, but doing it now means I got to remove all this other stuff. It's just like, screw it. I don't want to play this anymore. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had beef with an inventory management system in a Japanese role-playing game, ever. It's always the Western, we have to have a carry limit because you're going to have too many potatoes, or like, stop making so many damn potatoes then. Like, how many cheese wheels do you need? But, okay, so, but Terry, why would I have to sort my, and this is the crux of the question I'm trying to ask you that I can't get you to fully explain to me in a way I can understand. You're saying, well, have fun sorting out your inventory. Why would I do that? Like, why would I need to sort my inventory after every battle? If my inventory's full, I'm not going to sort. I'm just going to say F it. I don't need any more of those stupid ass plums or swords or whatever, because I've already noticed the game gave me like 7. I was in one dungeon just level grinding a little bit, and I got like 7 of the swords and 5 of the armors. If the game just tells me, hey, you have too many of these, do you want to sort it or drop it? I'm gonna drop it and keep. Like, I'm just gonna drop it and keep it moving. The way I play, I don't think I would have to sort every fight unless there's some mechanic that I'm not fully understanding that you're trying to explain to me. Again, I appreciate you going through the trouble to explain this to me, because you're gonna help me decide whether or not I want to keep playing this game. Unless there's a mechanic that's requiring it, and if that's true, my brother, I'm not going to give up yet, but I am thinking about pressing that panic button. Okay, yeah, good point. Suikoden has just bad... It's not even just bad inventory management. Suikoden's management of everything sucks. So yeah, inventory management included. Suikoden's whole management, the whole managing of your party in every Suikoden game sucks. It's hard. Really bad. I couldn't believe when I played 5 that they hadn't fixed it. Unfortunately, I didn't have to rage quit Suikoden because I was lucky enough, serendipitous enough. I played Suikoden with a guide to get all the 130 or however many stars it is. And when you play it with a guide, it tells you it told me step by step, like, take this sword off this guy, put it. So because the guide was kind of walking me through, this is getting ready to happen, make sure you have this party ready with these weapons. I was able to preempt a lot of that stuff, kind of the same way the Gambit system lets you preempt battles in Final Fantasy 12. So I didn't have as much stress, but when I played Suikoden 5, I rage quit because I got all the way to the end of the game, and the boss fight basically told me, you leveled up the wrong party for this fight. So you can't finish the game. Now, you can go back and level grind for another 15 hours on characters that are capable of beating this boss. And immediately in that moment, because we played it in my RPG club, I think it was one of the last games I played in the club, and I said, listen, motherfuckers, how you gonna make a game where I collect 130 people, and the point of the game is to have all 130 of them, and to play my way with choice, and I play with my characters that I like, to get to the end of the game and be told, Dark Souls style, oh, you did it wrong. Why did you give me 130 characters then? Just give me the 6 that actually beat the game. You horrible people. Immediate de-resolution. I'm telling you, Suba, it's coming. I feel it. And it's not like a mystery. I love Tri-Ace because of Star Ocean 2 and Star Ocean 1. They have never gotten back to that. I don't think. I can't think of anything else I played from that. Like, every other game I've played by them has ranged from okay to terrible. And most of them are just violently mediocre. Not even okay. Like, just, like, how were you making masterpieces in the 90s and then all of a sudden you forgot how to make games?
Look at the
I gotta know that. Yeah, Japanese role-playing games are the worst with, hey, make all these choices, you're fucked. And we weren't going to tell you that you were doing it wrong. Just spend another 20 hours level grinding. That's why I rage quit Final Fantasy 3 for that exact reason. And not the American 3, the Japanese one.
Ticket, did you? But you are not going to Hong Kong.
Now, the one thing Suikoden doesn't have bad is the combat. Combat in Suikoden,
Lundy.
delicious. It's one of the best. It's the everything else in that game.
What do you want?
It's like story and combat, excellent. Everything else,
Tell me all you know.
pain in the ass. You want to know what I know? I know I want to skip this cutscene. That's what I know.
So I'll be rewarded for this information.
So you know about Landy.
You know
Just
about
who the
that.
hell is he?
I'll only tell you if you prove stronger than me.
Your mama's stronger than you. Actually, go on the aggressive. Can you please face the right direction, you monkey of whores? Wait, why are you doing that move, you clown bag? This fight is not consistent at all. Like, he was hard the first fight, easier the second fight. He was impossible during this fight.
Interrupted. I'll save the fun for later.
Yeah, I recognize the avatar, Jolly. I knew it was you. Demon drop move. You can take out Chai. Back, and B. I've been trying to get that move to work, and it didn't. But I will try again.
Just take it easy and rest today.
Boom, boom, boom. Pimps are in the bed, humping hard. I guess the pimps aren't the ones humping. They're the ones setting up the humping. I gotta work on my lyrics. I got to sing Journey today at the event I was emceeing. I got to sing Separate Ways. If he ever hurt you. Oh, shit. Alright, keep in mind, guys, in 30 minutes we're going to Stacy's bridal show. So, is anybody here from the Discord team who has the link to her show? If not, I'll go get it. And we're just going to keep doing this U-Arcade fight. That's going to be today's whole episode. It's me losing to this clown bag. But I'm going to try to use Jolly's advice. So, back. Oh, hold one, this gold leader. Stand by. Where's my move list so I can double check? Because you were saying, ah, you're all whores!
Time.
Alright, I trust Jolly-fied Jolly.
Huh?
Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing's a good one.
Yeah. Came for your Hong Kong ticket, did you? Here, but But you are not going to hang.
I don't think I could sing Don't Stop Believing. I can fake my way through.
Work for
Because trying to sing in Steve's voice is ridiculous.
What do you want
That
with me?
dude's... I can fake my way through separate ways, but Don't Stop Believing's too... I'd have to cut off one of my balls to sing that high pitch. Or work a lot to get my range up that high, and I just don't care enough.
Just who the hell is he?
I left my singing days behind me long ago.
Only tell you if you prove stronger than me.
Alright, Jolly, it's us, baby. It's us! There you go! See, Jolly, it does that move instead of the... Yeah, ho! That's your ass, bitch! Get your dumb ass up here and whoop your monkey ass. That's me and you, ho. Oh, you gonna slide out? That's you? Oh, you sliding. You sliding hard, too, ho. All in your ass. You like that. Can you block everything? Why can't I get no block moves? There's not a block move on my list, ho. Like, if you could feel what I'm feeling while playing this, you would never play Shenmue. If this was your first video game experience ever, was this fight, you'd be like, well, you know, I imagine the only thing worse than that was slavery. There's a move where you grab him and yeah, I've been trying to do that grab move, but he can get out of all the grabs. It's just like, F this dude. There's no achievement for beating him, so F him. I'm not going through all the pain of the bragging rights of beating that horrible fight that's completely you being handicapped. Like, you want to know that video games are made by evil people? Get something that plays Super Nintendo cartridges. Like, I got my Retron 5 over here. I've got my Super NT Mini over here. I don't have my old Super Nintendo. I do have my original NES, which I think you guys... That's not in the shot right now, but I got my Super NT, you know. Wait, what was it? So, anyway, I now lost my train of thought because that comment threw me off. Where did you put the link for Stacy's stream? It's in the stream chat. Yeah, I didn't post it. Ryan did. Uncommon Rabble posted the link to it. I forgot what I was talking about. That comment threw me off. We were talking about... Oh, yeah, so get you an NT Mini. Here's how you know game designers are you. Get you something that plays Super Nintendo games, and I want you to just get a copy. You could probably find it cheap. Of Street Fighter 2. Alright, and the reason why I want you to play it on the old hardware is I want you to turn the difficulty up to 7. And I want you to get good enough at the game, that because I did this, where you can get to M. Bison without taking damage. Then beat him in the first round without taking damage. And watch the fuck tartary that ensues that the game uses to try to beat you. It's like video games just can't live without getting that last, making shit overly difficult for the sake of making it difficult. Because I think, honestly, arcade makers, maybe they knew the psychology that folks with obsessive issues are going to be the ones to play these games the most. They'll waste the most quarters on it. So make it ridiculously hard, because the obsessive person will just continue to plug quarters into it until they master it. I have some of those tendencies, right? Like, game designers are evil, man. Let's see, Terry thinks Bryant was possessed by demons. Oh, they're gonna be really bored demons. That's for damn sure. They're trying to come into my... they're gonna be bored as shit. Listening to me take calls from people that run companies that I own. It's gonna be a boring possession. You barely beat arcade mode of Street Fighter 2 on the easiest difficulty. It hurt. Yeah, no. I got good enough at Street Fighter as a kid on level 7, which I think was the hardest difficulty. I beat every person in that game. Not only undefeated, but flawless victory, or perfect, is what they call it in Street Fighter. Got to M. Bison, dusted his ass off the first round. That whole, you know that move where he jumps and then lands on you? That bitch jumped off the screen. The game just basically, like, the game decided the dude's too good, start cheating. Like, Madden does it too. Madden has little things baked into it that if you're doing too well, I think it was Tom Brady drop back to pass in a game, and he just threw the ball to nothing. It was just nothing out in the middle of the field. And then all of a sudden, a dude 30 yards upfield had the ball. You saw the ball hit the ground. It hit the ground and disappeared. And then it was in the hands of the guy 30 yards up the field. Touchdown. When you're doing good, games gotta cheat, man. And Madden's one of the worst games with the cheating shit. I've seen guys catch interceptions where I'm like, that dude had to be 11 feet tall to make that catch with the trajectory that I threw that ball. Like, all right, I guess they got an 11-foot middle linebacker out there. Good on them. The Nephilim are back. Hey, Clem, thanks for posting the link. Don't worry about it, Jolly. Clem got it. So this is the link we're going to in a couple of minutes, gang. I'm going to try my hand again at beating Goro or Gollum or whatever his dumb name is. Bunch of heathens. Bling, bling, bling. So yeah, man. Expect to see a lot of Sega Genesis games and NES games in the future. Because the future of gaming, you know, I never get completely cynical about it, because every generation gets something that I love. No generation has let me down yet. And in fact, PlayStation 4 dropped some hits, man. There's some really great games that came out during this last generation. So it's just, I wish I didn't have to wade through. But you know what, on the good side is I don't have time to play all these games anyway. I mean, the only new game I played this year is what, Tales of Arise? I don't have time to play all these games anyway, so the fact that I would think they suck is actually a blessing to me. It's like I won't play it anyway. Like Ghost of Tsushima Remastered? Yeah, no thanks. All you. I don't need to matter of fact, I already have the platinum trophy for it. I don't need to relive none of that shit.
Do you work for Landy?
Me? Work? For Landy-sama? That's my dream.
What do you want with me?
You know about Yenda. Tell me.
Second is notorious for that with Devil Gene fight, because he just starts spamming laser beam eyes at you.
For this information.
So you know about Landy.
Yeah, exactly right. You're 100% right. So I look at everything. I joke and rant on these shows about video games suck and game designers are the devil. All exaggerated in jokes. But the truth is, like, I'm excited because a lot of dope games are coming. We've gotten, I mean, if you just look at the last generation of games, man, there's been some really great stuff. May I turn around? How is he dodging my gangster move? And how can I not jack his ass when he's down? Bitch. Hit the move where you turn around on him, you dumbass. Yeah, whoever programmed the fighting in this game sucks at programming fighting. They may be great parents or whatever, but they are sorry-ass fighting designers. Alright, we're done. That's a wrap. Fuck it. Yeah, and it's money I would spend on collecting books, or money I can spend backwards to retro games that I like, or money I can spend on my kids. You know? And not that the money's the issue. I'm not worried about that. It's just more the time for me. Like, thank God I don't have to play most of the games coming out this year. Like this year, we're gonna play Battlefield 2021 because it's gonna be my last. All right, EA, this is your shot. For me, like, the only thing you have left is hockey and Madden, and I'm damn if I'm buying those every year. In fact, now that I have the Washington Capitals Special Edition of NHL 21, I'm like, shit, I don't need any other hockey games. What are they gonna make it look slightly better? I make all my own characters anyway. I'm good with Hockey 21. And in fact, I have NHL 96, which is an even better game. Or nostalgically more fun. Like, that's my last time to say, alright, EA, what do you got left in the tank? Because Battlefield 3 was my favorite shooter of all time. What's happening? Battlefield 4, not my favorite shooter of all time. Didn't even like it enough to play it for more than maybe the campaign and another 8 to 10 hours after that, which is nothing for a multiplayer game. Like, alright. And then Battlefield 5, oh, we're going to take it back to World War I and give you a bunch of equipment you don't want to use. We got you used to being a damn space alien with jetpacks, now go back to being a farmer fighting with pickaxes and shit. Just like as soon as Call of Duty went to the exosuits, I said they can't ever go back. Not for me. I was like, now that I can jump around all these buildings, I ain't going back to just walking. And then, like, same with Saints Row 4. As soon as I got the ability to fly in a video game, I'm like, every video game's got to have this. Now, thankfully, Elix was smart. It's like, we can't make the guy fly. That won't fit with the story. But we can give him a jetpack. Elix was, Piranha Bytes was paying attention, man. Damn, can we get some more of these designers and developers paying attention to the good shizzle? So I'm like, I'm going to try Battlefield 2021. Everything looks like it's going to be legit. Alright. And if it sucks, I'm going to take my NHL 21. I'm going to take my Madden 20. And that's going to be that. Or, if the Washington football team ever gets good again and ends up on the cover of a Madden game, I'll probably get it then. And going back and playing some of the older ones like the NCAA games, which I always enjoyed, and we'll play one probably on the stream at some point. I always enjoyed the NCAA football games better than Madden. Fun fact. They're just funner games. And Madden is a little bit more rigid. College games, you can get away with stuff that's just like, oh, where? He threw a Hail Mary on the first play? Of course, I do that in Madden too. I just call it something different. Let's see, Terry says, yeah, that's what I do. WWE 2K19. I don't even play the game as it's intended. I just make... Dude, that thing you made with me was fantastic. I loved every minute of that. That was so fun to watch. What's funny is I think I need to get that game and start making characters too, because the first person I ever saw do that was Conan O'Brien, where he made himself. And then I think he beat the shit out of the Rock. It was great. I was like, this is funny. So... But that's the deal. Like, EA can kick rocks. Has Activision made a game in the last God knows how long that I had to play? I don't remember the last big Activision game that I loved. So it's like, alright, me and BioWare already cut ties. Thank you for the memories. Don't need any more of your games. We're just not on the same sheet of music. You make great stuff. It just ain't for me. At least, not today. Maybe that'll change. Let's see. Typical Iowa says, I liked Battlefield 5. The maps were good. Okay. I have actually heard good things about it. I just, when I can have access to all the modern weaponry, I don't want to go back to firing, you know, Lugers. Although, pistols doesn't really matter. Pistols are going to be highly inaccurate no matter what you do. See, FM says everything is a remake or a sequel, including the film industry in America, at least. Yeah, and it's been that way from forever. I mean, look at the Universal monster movies. Those have been getting remade since the 1930s, and we're still making them. It's just we call them different things now. You know, instead of mummies, we have zombies. You know, Dracula's still got, you know, now they have gay and pretty vampires, but it's still Dracula. I don't know what the werewolves are up to. But yeah, I mean, but that's what humans do. We just make variations around originals. That's what the human animal does. Nothing we do is wholly original. Like I told somebody one time, I think I actually said it on a stream, and somebody argued with me. I said, I've never had an original thought. I'm like, how is that possible? I said, well, because all my thoughts are coming from other people. Like, all the things I'm thinking are just an amalgamation of everything I've read, everything my dad told me. Like, all my thoughts, I may be directing them at this point, but they are coming from a place that was handed to me. He says, I made you beat the crap out of John Cena. I imagine he would beat my ass in a wrestling match, as I know very little about wrestling. Yeah, that when I saw the Conan one, because he made himself like almost paper thin, I was like, I like this. That's honestly one of the things I like about the EA Sports games is you can make, you know, I made my son in the game and I made him the size he's supposed to be, which is over 7 feet. And I'm like, awesome. You've been in a lot of backstage brawls beating up other YouTubers. That's great. I love it. Let's see, Nick says, I liked Battlefield 4, to be honest. Hey, man, love what you love, bruh. You're not going to get no condemnation from me. No hate from me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think Battlefield 4 was inherently bad. It just didn't capture the magic of 3 for me. And I think some of that was not just the game. Some of it was the community, too. Because when I played 3, I had a lot of my friends, like Patrick played some. He didn't really like it, though, so he switched to Call of Duty. But then we had some of my other friends play. But then I met this group of guys, because I was really big into getting achievements back then. And I met this group of guys where we would meet up and collab on, because the achievements in Battlefield 3, if you have a 1K trophy in Battlefield 3, you have put in some serious effort to do the sniping mission that you have to, the helicopter mission and the sniping mission. We're just, me and the dude that did it, I think we were up till, because my son was a newborn at the time. It would have been my second son at that point. And I just remember it's 3 a.m. on a weekend, and me and this dude are doing the do, and we took the last sniper shot, and the achievement popped, and I'm screaming, and my baby is laying in the bed, because in those days, I actually had a small entertainment center set up in my bedroom with a giant television, you know, because my bedrooms are, you know, pretty spacious. I've got my bed, but then I've got room to have like a little living room in the bedroom. And so that I set that up in there so I could be close to the baby, but play video games at night if I had to be up, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, I woke the baby up that night. And the mom. It's like, what's wrong with you? Like, we just sniped Bin Laden, baby. We shooting everybody out here. It's like, what? 3 minutes until Stacy's live. 3 minutes. It should be, am I looking at the wrong time? Oh, you meant 10. I was like, what? Yeah, matter of fact, let's go ahead and go there, man. Let's go ahead and show. I'm done getting my ass beat by Gollum. I'm going to go ahead and save the old game. Just accept defeat. There is no trophy for beating that guy, so F him. And he's just as much a pain in the ass. By the way, spoiler alert, that's the final boss in the game. And he is a pain. I almost didn't finish the game because of his ass. Because he's a bitch to beat. And it's like, he wouldn't be hard if this was a fight. If the game had, first of all, prepared you to have these types of fights, which it does not. And the controls didn't suck absolute, donkey balls. It would be fun. Like, this game, the fighting parts should just literally be Final Fight. I don't know why they had to make it into this Virtua Fighter bullshit. Like, just make it Streets of Rage. And let me beat the living hell out of these people. You know what I mean? Like, but no, you got to memorize Tekken moves, and then on that guy, none of the moves work. And I'm guessing it's because I didn't level them up enough. But I leveled my moves. I did put time in. Apparently not enough. It's not an open stream yet. All right, we'll hold tight for a second. We're gonna go raid her stream here in 9 minutes. Yeah, so like I'm really starting to get lean with how I'm looking at video games. So it's like Assassin's Creed Odyssey pretty much decided, okay, Ubisoft they're another can't get right company because Far Cry has yet to deliver. For me. Assassin's Creed has turned into a loot boxy, let me sell you leveling up because the leveling system sucks simulator. So F you. That fucking Immortals Jesus Rising. I wish COVID would have stopped that game from coming out. What else? And let me be real. There is nothing wrong with that game. It actually plays very well for what it is. I just hate what it is. And that's just personal preference shit. There's nothing. I couldn't find. If I was to review that game, I would actually give it a pretty positive review. I would just make it clear that I hated every minute I spent with the freaking game after 5 hours. So it's like Ubisoft's out, pretty much. I haven't played Watch Dogs yet. I'll try it. But except for Ghost Recon, they are a can't-get-right publisher. Like, nothing else they make hits. And then Activision, like I said, I'm sure they publish something I like over here that I'm just not tracking. But I can't remember the last time they published a game that I really liked, in the modern world. Who else is out there? BioWare makes soap operas, but, makes linear scripted soap operas that they call RPGs. I get it. It's the old Japanese method of, the love novel bullshit that gave rise to the Japanese RPG. BioWare actually reminds me more of that than a standard Western RPG. But they're just a soap opera company. Like, nope. Soap operas are good, but you give me a leveling system with a linear game and limited enemies where I can't really level up. Why do we have this leveling system again? Or is it just to stroke the ego of the player superficially? Done. Who else got on my F these people list? And plus, BioWare was never really nice to me when I was doing stuff in the industry. Them and EA were kind of dicks. Well, EA, I don't want to blame BioWare. EA were dicks. Most of the other public, like Activision, was one of the nicer companies to me. I was shocked with all the shit they get. Bethesda was really nice. Square Enix, still my favorite PR team, man. Enix, sorry. And I love a lot of the indie guys, but a lot of the indie teams, I'm dealing with the guy that owns the company, not they don't have a PR team, or it's like one other dude and they're all on the email. Like, dealing with the indie guys is always fun, but out of the AAA publishers, Square Enix was my favorite one to deal with. But yeah, like, what does EA make? BioWare, Bungie, I think, stopped making games, and Destiny is shit. I haven't liked Halo since Halo 2. Microsoft, like, at this point, it's going to be, I'm going to play God of War sequels, whatever the Nier Automata sequel is, And then what? Elix 2. I'll play the next Ys game. And then it's like, I'll keep playing Tales games if they don't suck. Tales of Arise is really good so far. I don't know what else I'd be playing in the modern world, man. A lot of my stuff has come down to either independent studios or smaller studios that got brought on by a bigger publisher to make a dope game. Like The Ascent is great. If it worked, it would be fantastic. Yeah, I just can't think of the big publishers who are making stuff that I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to play this. Most of the stuff I'm at now is either old school or indie. And Terry, have you heard anything? Because you're in Europe. Maybe, not that all Europeans are alike by any stretch, but are you hearing anything coming out of Reality Pump with Two Worlds? Because we're getting nada over here. And I'm like, first of all, Microsoft fucked all of us because there is no backwards compatibility for Two Worlds. First, shame on you for that, Microsoft. Freaking. But then, okay, if we can't get Microsoft to get off their ass, like, we got Dance Dance Revolution, but we can't have one of the better RPGs. Okay, got it. Then can Reality Pump please get the funding to do a remaster and do a proper remaster of that game and make it, update the controls so that it works with today's, engine and feel, fix the frame rate. I would even go as far as to getting new voice actors and remake that joint, remaster it. And if you can't get the new voice actors, fine. I like the shitty story of that game. I really do. It's a crappy story, but it's a hilariously crappy story. Like, almost like it's supposed to be cheesy and bad. But can we get a remake? And please, can you get busy on Two Worlds 3 and get it out? And you know what? Don't get it out in a timely fashion. Or, man, I wonder if I was Reality Pump, the install base of the PlayStation 4, like, I'd almost just be like, yo, I'm going to make this joint for the PlayStation 4 and then just allow it to be upgraded to, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X or whatever. And I would make Two Worlds 3 a last generation game that can be upscaled to the next generation. And then just take advantage of the existing install base that don't have much to play because publishing companies can't put shit out for the... Like, if I was a publishing company right now with all this COVID shit, I'd be looking at, what do we have in the pipeline right now that we can get out for old consoles? Like, I'm for real. If I was a publisher, I'd start putting out Sega Genesis games. Because look at all the retailers. You can't find games, dog. And you can't find consoles anywhere. So everybody's bought up consoles. You have an attentive audience that's stuck at home. And if this COVID shit picks up in the wintertime, they're going to be stuck at home. I'd be making Dreamcast games. I'd start making all kinds of shit. And I wouldn't have to spend that much money. I'd have to spend a lot of money to market it. But just the fact that my publishing company's making a Sega Genesis game when we're used to making PS5 exclusives or whatever, that would make news. Like, what? You're making a Genesis game? Yeah, and it's going to be the best Genesis game you ever played in your life. I just wish some of these companies would be in a place where they could take more risk like that. And go back to making weird shit like we used to get in the 80s and 90s, man. And even the early 2000s. So 90% of Ys 9 is the Dana sections. Wow, that's crazy. All right, check-in time. We got 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes before Stacy's show. Reality Pump have been making lots of expansions for Two Worlds 2. That I'm aware of. So they're still in the game. Is CD Projekt Red considered big now? Oh yeah, they own GOG. They're they are big. They are basically the European Steam. They had a dud, and Witcher is frustrating, but maybe they're next. No, I would not. If you don't like Witcher, I will tell you, I don't think you're going to like much of what CD Projekt Red has to bring you. Because the previous Witcher games were not better than 3. 3, like, I couldn't finish 1 because the god-awful keyboard controls and weirdness, I just couldn't do it. 2, I did finish. I actually got all the achievements and was fun, but clumsy. 3 still has some clumsiness, but it's on a whole other level. So if you don't like Witcher 3 and you don't like Cyberpunk, like, I'm not excited for CD Projekt Red's new game, and I love them. I wanted to love Witcher 3 with all my soul, but that European sensibility with RPGs, it has to be gritty and hard, and you can only use 3 of the 47 abilities we gave you. Like, then just give me 3 abilities and stop wasting my damn time. You know, it's just we have a expectation difference. You know, most players want more variety. I'm the weird guy that wants less. So I get it. So yeah, who's that? Suba. Yeah, I don't think anything CD Projekt Red has got coming out is probably going to wow you if you don't like the stuff they already have. Because I was actually surprised that Witcher 3 was an improvement over 1 and 2 in the scale, but not in the controls or in the tediousness of some of the play. That was actually a letdown. I was going to say, you sound like Obi-Wan Kenobi there, Ryan. Terry says CD Projekt Red sucks at making games, but they have a good I don't think their games suck. I just think they're for a very specific type of person who, like, the Witcher fans are fans, man. They are in there. And I like Witcher 3. I played it and finished it on the hardest difficulty. It's just too damn long. Yeah, Cyberpunk, I never really had high expectations for Cyberpunk at all. That's why I don't think I was really all that disappointed. I mean, I was pissed at things I experienced in the game that were stupid, but my expectations were low going into that game. So I was like, for what it is, it's okay. All right, guys, it is 6:01. Let's get to, somebody post the link for Lisa's show, and let's go raid her party. All right, and then once we all do that, I'll shut this stream down, and then we'll be back here around 8:30. We'll have a good time. Ryan says, we got some tomball later. I know what you're talking about. I'm going to have some CBD just for that. All right, Clem. Oh, they're still not live yet. All right, let me go to the link and see what's up. Oh, damn it. This is on Facebook. Can you just watch it from somewhere? F Facebook. Hell no. Super says, me, hell no. I wanted to like Witcher 3 because Poland and Polish lore, but I hated the RPG-ness of it. Which aspect of the RPG-ness? Tell me specifically. Because there's a lot of RPG-ness to that game. Facebook is for old farts. Says Terry. Let me see if my stream actually comes up on my phone, as my phone is not logged into this YouTube. Let's see. Okay. All right, it says she's... So I guess we're just waiting for the show to start. Is that how this works? So how does Facebook Watch work? I've been out of the Facebook game quite a while, since I used to consult a lot of businesses on that platform on how to use it to make money. So some of the technical shit I'm a little off on. This Facebook Watch, is the way this works, when she goes live, this will switch to her video? Or am I doing it wrong? Because I'm wondering if this is not where we're supposed to be. Like, I'm wondering if there's a different place where her show is happening and this is just an old link to the, like, to the trailer for it. Guess I can get out of this menu. Still have to go. Yeah, I'm at the page now. There's it looks like she still hasn't started yet. All right. Okay, stay on the page and it'll say it's live. Okay, I'll try that instead. Let's see if I can pull that off. All right, we'll hang. She's also not here. I was hoping maybe I streamed early enough to just talk to her before she went live, just to make sure everything's still on for today. Because what I don't want to do is sit here for 15 minutes for a show that's not going to happen if she had to change her schedule. If you want to play, damn, painkillers are painkillers the answer to everything in Terry's book, boy. That thing is the cure for AIDS. Oh, you know, painkiller cures AIDS. They're gonna find that out in like 20 years. Terry's gonna be speaking at a symposium. I use painkiller to cure AIDS. Yeah, the problem, Ryan, is I'm not logged. Like, my computer ain't letting me get there without a Facebook account. So, they can kiss my ass. Broken Super says, any game with crafting has me suspicious. Yep. I feel like Two Worlds did crafting the best. Instead of crafting, you do stacking. So let's say you find 4 of the same sword. You stack them, and now your sword is substantially stronger than it was before. And you can do that right in the menu. You don't have to go see a blacksmith or anybody. You just do it. And your sword is stronger. I think I had blades that were up in the thousands for damage by the time I was done leveling in that game. And I was dual wielding, so do the math on how much damage I was doing by the end of that game. Terry says, no crafting in Painkiller, don't worry, but there's a gun that shoots shurikens and lightning, so you'll love it. I will love that. That sounds like right up my 1980s/90s kid alley. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jolly. I wasn't going to say it. God damn it. I wasn't going to say it, Jolly. We're trying to turn over a new leaf. Oh, God, Jolly, you got to be on these shows more often. Trying to turn over a new leaf, Jolly. I thought this was a new day for us. Yes.
Hey, Dad.
I'm on the show. What do you need?
How's your show doing?
Great.
Nice. Is it okay if we can play football after?
Yes.
Okay.
Or actually, no, I got to be on another show, buddy.
Oh.
I told you we would play football on Saturday. Didn't we have this discussion, Mr. Master Negotiator?
Yeah.
Okay. So why are you up here trying to change the plan?
I don't know.
That's okay. I appreciate your diligence, and I appreciate your tenacity and your persistence. And I love you. Go away.
Bye.
Yeah, Jolly, I thought this one was going to be different, Jolly. This is us now. Like when you told that joke about the damn, oh God, the smoke detector. I had become so programmed by and I went and fucking rewired it. That's why you guys don't hear it anymore. I had become so programmed by it that I didn't even notice it anymore. Because believe me, the damn detectors work because they never stop going off whenever we cook something. It's just the wiring in this. The people that wired this house before we moved in did like a hook me up job. And I've been trying to unfuck their Sunday project since I've been in here. So, you know, I think for a year my microwave didn't work. Or if the microwave was on, it would shut something down upstairs. I'm like, all right, we come on. Like, we live in a dope ass neighborhood. We can't be having hood problems out here. Fuck, I work too hard and have built a life for my family not to have these issues. Like, I had all these problems when I was coming up so that these cats didn't have to. Actually, not when I was coming up. I came up pretty well. It was when I was an adult that I was broke as shit and living in the hood. He said, little homie, trying to see if you senile enough to have forgot the agreement. Oh, unfortunately, I didn't hire the guy. It was done before we got here. So, if I had hired him, his ass would have been out here doing fucking handstand push-ups on the wall. You better fix my house, bitch. I'll kill you. Terry says there's hood problems anywhere. Not when you spend as much money to live as we do. Better not be no damn hood problems with these mortgages. I live in the land of the $2 million house like it's hotcakes. Better not be no hood problems in a $2 million house. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. Although, you come from a place where everything's overpriced, so you already know what I'm talking about. That's funny. Terry says, Bryant is many things, and one of them is stubborn. It's compartmentalized. Actually, psychologically, if you test me, I'm extremely flexible and not stubborn. I'm extremely stubborn about shit I give a fuck about. You're right about that. I just only give a fuck about like 3 things. I guess I'm just going to brush my beard on camera, waiting for this thing to kick off. Hey, we giving her the college professor rule. 15 minutes and we out. If this shit ain't kicked off after 15 minutes, we'll just tell her we love her later. And I'm gonna laugh too. Like, if we don't get on her show and she come, hey, Terry, you need to, if you can, be here for the 8:30 or the 8 or whenever we do it, somewhere after 8. Because if she comes on this stream, all of us need to give her hell. Terry, I know you'll be asleep, brother. So, no worries for you, Terry. But for Jolly is what I'm trying to say, not Terry. Jolly. You both have the same actual name. We got to give her, you got to be here, Jolly, because we got to give her hell for sending us to this show she ain't even do. She's going to catch one. Yeah, I rewired that shit that night. I was so pissed. I was like, oh, because you guys reminded me of it. I was like, oh, that damn beeping. Now I can't not hear it. I was up there. I'm fixing this motherfucker. And so far, so good. We'll see if it holds. Ace, I'm going to figuratively get in that ass. Yes, indeed we are. Terry says, like you gave enough of a fuck about that boss you were fighting to fight him up. Yeah. Yes, I obsess over shit I care about. You are 100%. I actually do have OCD. I don't brag about it. But, yep, I got it. So when I'm faced with a challenge that I think I should be able to overcome, yeah, I get stubborn as fuck. And usually frustrated. And that's why games like Bloodborne don't work for me, because there is a way to do it, but the game won't show you the way. I'm like, I'm not going to play this motherfucker for 8 hours to figure it out, motherfucker. You made this game. You tell him how to play. Angel, that beard go hard. My beard is absolutely delicious and sexual. Believe that. All right. The 15-minute rule is passed. Listen, gang, if y'all want to roll out, Go ahead. I'm done Shenmueing for the day. I need a Shenmue damn break after that ass whooping I took. We took a L at Shenmue today. Although we got a couple of good comedy bits there in the early part of the show, so I'm sure we'll have something to work with. We'll just have to make fun of Stacy later if she comes on the stream for not doing the show she invited us to. It says beat your narcissistic ass. You'd hate E's Origin because there's so many fights in that game that'll kick your ass, but you can win if you're quote unquote good enough. Yeah, I think game designers need to stop using the terms get good and difficulty. Because when you hold all the chips, yeah, of course it's difficult, but you're just hiding the thing I said about Street Fighter 2. Like, I crushed that game so much that it had to go outside of the confines of the normal programming of the game to try and beat me. That's how game designers think. It's not like, hey, let's give them something. Now, Bloodborne, I would actually say, even though it's obtuse, it technically is difficulty because you can learn it. At least they give you that. It's not fun to learn it, but at least not for me. But yeah, I don't think I've ever played a game that was difficult. No. Outward is difficult in a fair way, where the difficulty is actually fun. And there's a price for dying, but it's not so dire that you feel like you wasted 7 hours. If you just ran through the desert, went to that dungeon to get that thing, you didn't get it, and got killed. When you respawn, what happens to you, there will be loss, but there's also gain. And there's also, sometimes they even, like the person who rescues you and saves you, sometimes will even put stuff in your bag to try to help you, right? Or you'll get robbed, but the game is ultimately fair. You never feel like, damn it, I lost all that time in the effing dungeon. It's, no, I went to the dungeon, got that ass beat, I killed a couple of things, so when I go back to the dungeon, there's no respawns, right? It's just going to be me in that dungeon. And the difficulty feels good. It's one of the first games I would call actually kind of difficult, where the difficulty was something that I was absolutely enjoying for 90% of the game. There was a couple of boss fights that were like, come on, man. You couldn't think of a way to make this harder, so you just made him able to hit you from everywhere. It's like, all right, you just gotta... It's one of those fights where you just have to survive it. Like, there is no mastering it. But what are you gonna do? Uh-oh, she's live. She's damn lucky she's live. She's about to catch it. Fighting the boss in E's Origin took its health down to 0 with barely any health left. Then he ate all of his minions and healed back to half his health. Yeah, that's Japanese role-playing game nonsense. And that's why I've, for the most part, just, like, I stick to the Japanese role-playing games I know I like, and I don't really look forward to new ones. Because after Final Fantasy's whole... After basically Final Fantasy 12, that series has been swirling around the damn toilet bowl. So, anyway, gang, I'm going to Stacy's show. Y'all should come with me, and I will see you guys back here after 8 o'clock. I love you guys, man. We are stronger than I. Let's catch up a little bit later. Terry, as always, thanks for the great conversation. Jolly, as always, thanks for keeping me on task. Clem, thanks for the links, and thanks for everybody else for being here and for the great conversation. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.